Welcome everyone to my channel. If you are new to my channel, my name is Teresa. In this video today, I'm going to give you some upcycles that I got at thrift stores and also at the dollar store. I'm also going to show you how I transform them to make some really cute winter and Valentine decor for my home. Make sure to stay to the end because I'm going to show you an amazing technique using peppermint candies that will send your Valentines over the top. And I'm also going to announce the 3 winners of the Dollar Tree calendars. Okay, the first project we're going to work on is going to be some love letters that I got at Goodwill. I paid $1.99 each for these. So I thought these would be neat to do something with for Valentine's. So I got some inspiration from Pinterest and I'll show you in just a minute. But I'm going to add a piece of scrap wood to these 4 letters. And as you can see, I paid $1.99 for each of these. So there's so many things you can do with these love letters, but I saw this neat shelf and I thought, what a great way just to add a little piece of scrap wood. I think I can make this little shelf. It was very easy to do. So where my letters lined up at the joints and they laid flat, I just got some wood glue and I glued my little piece of scrap wood. Now my little scrap piece of wood, I didn't even cut it. I had it and I just went with it the length that it already was. But as you can see in those joints where my letters would meet, I just kind of, joined them together and just put some wood glue and it held really well. Now I just go over the whole thing with some burnt umber craft paint to give it a base so I can distress it after I paint it. Now once that craft paint dried, I went over it with a couple of coats of white chalk paint. Now I'm going to go over it and distress it with my little plastic scraper and just give it more of that little rustic farmhouse look. Now we added a little hook on the O that was more of in the center so we could hang it, and it hangs really well actually. So we just added that to the back real easy, and then I'm going to show you now how I styled it. Okay, the next project we're going to work on is going to be this big pallet heart. Now this is also a Goodwill find and I paid $4.99 for it. Now it had a sticker on the back that said Hobby Lobby. So of course as soon as I got home I wanted to see if I got a good deal for $5 and I feel like I did. It has an easel back on the back of it and I'm sure this was sold in the wedding section. It was very easy to pop that easel off and it retailed for $24.99. But it's a very large size. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over it with my candle wax so when I go to distress my paint will lift off really easy. After I got before I painted, I realized I probably needed to sand down that lettering, so I just went over it with some sandpaper and just kind of lightened it up really good so it wouldn't show through my paint. I went over it with a couple layers of my white chalk paint, and then I'm going to distress it with my plastic scraper. And then to finalize it, I will go over it with a sanding block just to smooth it out really good and just kind of, give it more of that smoothed out look. Now I'm going to stencil this one. Now you can put transfers on this at this point or you can use a stencil. Y'all know I love this stencil. I've used this in many of my videos and I have this linked in my Amazon store under the category of stencils. And I'm just going to apply it with some black chalk paint. And I think this just really bumped this up. Now I want to do something a little bit different to this instead of just using it as a hanging wall piece. So I thought let's make a tray out of it. So y'all know I always have these little finial feet that I purchased at Lowe's. You get 2 of them to a pack and they're just painted white. They come in natural wood color and I just glued them on. So now we got a really pretty little shabby chic little tray that we can leave out all year or we can definitely style it up for Valentine's. Okay, the next project we're going to work on is going to be these little hearts. Now, I picked these up around Christmas time at the Target Bullseye section, and they were $1. And when I saw them for Christmas, I thought, well, they would be gorgeous on a Christmas tree, but I also had Valentine's in mind. So I'm going to add some of my transfers, and this is from the Traditional Pots Transfer, the Iron Orchid Design book. And I'm just taking bits and pieces. This is some more lettering that was in that same transfer book. And I do so many transfers. A lot of times I just have bits and pieces of transfers. And I try to use, all the scraps that I have. So I just put the Josephine, and then I just added that one little last word there at the end, just to kind of fill up my heart. Now the next heart, I'm also going to apply one of the transfers. And I love these white transfers because they show up really well on, rustic looking wood like this. And I love these. These are some of my favorite transfers. Now I just hung these up, with my little angels that I did at Christmas time, because I still have a few of my Christmas decorations up that I feel like, just kind of float into winter. But I love these little hearts and the way they turned out, and they just add such a great little Valentine embellishment to our vignettes. Now this project is going to be a fun one, and y'all know I love to work with scrap wood because to me it's free. So I have a lot of scrap wood on hand a lot of times, so I love to repurpose it and make things for my home out of it. This is another stencil that is in my Amazon store, and it's got some good winter snowflakes and snow quotes on it. So I love these stencils, and these actually come in a pack, so you get several stencils and there's a lot of little snowflakes to choose from. So I just added a really easy little scrap wood sign to my little cocoa bar, and I'm about to show you how I created this little cocoa bar. And also the little wood dough bowl, the little heart. I have several of these listed in my Amazon store. So if you're looking for a little, cute little dough bowl heart shape for Valentine's, make sure to look in my Amazon store. Now I'm going to take a little heart template, and we're going to make some stuffed hearts. This is my favorite project to do around Valentine's, and I make these every year, but I'm just going to show you different variations of things of how you can embellish them in different kinds of fabrics that you can use to create your stuffed hearts. This is some ticking stripe cloth that I got at burlapfabric.com, and I'm going to leave a link to their online website shop down below. So if you're interested in some ticking stripe cloth, they have this in various colors. But I thought this red stripe is perfect for Valentine's, so I just took a heart-shaped, something heart-shaped I had. I used it as a template. I took 2 pieces of the fabric, and then I made 2 pieces, and I'm going to go around and adhere it with some hot glue around the edges, but you do want to leave an opening so we can go around and put in our stuffing. I just go around and fray the edges. Now I'm going to apply a transfer to it, but you can also add a stencil to it. Stencils do very well on fabric, and I've showed in previous videos, last Valentine's I did some stenciled hearts. So if you don't have transfers, you can also use your stencils. And you could also use stamps on these too. I think the stamps would work really well. And you just want to go in, put your stuffing in, get it stuffed. And once you get all your stuffing in, then you just want to go in now, close up that little hole with a little bit of hot glue, and you've got some cute little hearts to set around and embellish your tiered trays or any of your little Valentine's vignettes. Now I'm going to show you another variation of the heart. This is some clearance fabric that I got at Hobby Lobby. And I tell y'all a lot of times, if you go in Hobby Lobby, always check their clearance section, because I've got so many pieces of great fabric there, and you get them very inexpensive. But I love this. It's kind of like a grain stripe. So I just added a transfer to it. And we've got another cute little heart. Now this one I made out of drop cloth, and y'all know I love to make things out of drop cloth. And I just used a larger template to trace, my heart. And you, like I say, you just need 2 pieces of fabric, you glue them, and you just go around and fray the edges, and it's that easy. And you can just make these up in bulk and just go around and just start embellishing them and designing them any way you want to. But I'm just, like I say, I'm just kind of giving y'all ideas of different ways you can embellish them, and also just, different fabrics that you can use, and just give you ideas of, how cute they can turn out. And you can make these as large or small as you want to. And y'all don't forget to subscribe to my channel so we can stay connected. Now I'm going to show you one more heart, and this one's a little bit different because we're going to put a pocket on this one. And you want to take a smaller heart or whatever size pocket you want, and you could even make your pocket like a square or a rectangle shape. You just need one piece of fabric, cut out whatever design you want for your little pocket, and all we're going to do is just hot glue this on the front of our heart, and then we've got a cute little pocket, and you can stick little things down in this. You could put your little candy canes in it, some kind of cute little Valentine sucker, or just any kind of little shabby chic little embellishments that you may have. It'd be so cute to put in a little pocket of your stuffed heart. Now, I also added some transfer wording to this. It was just, like I say, just some scraps that I had left over, and I just applied them just to give it a little bit more of that little shabby chic French country detail. Okay, now we've made some stuffed hearts, and y'all, those are so much fun to make. Now, I've made this wreath in a couple of videos ago, and I used a different wreath form, but I'm just kind of showing you another wreath form you can use. You get 2 to a pack of these at Dollar Tree, so basically this little wreath form will work, and it's 50 cents. It was a smaller version, but I had some of this leftover finger loop yarn, and y'all, I love this stuff, so I thought, why not, let's just whip together another little wreath real quick. These are so easy and so quick to make. Now, you can even use this for a candle holder. Put a candle in the middle of it, and I think this just screams winter. And you could use a pink or a red if you wanted to make one for Valentine's. Now, I'm taking the same fabric that I got at burlapfabric.com, and I'm just going to rip strips, and I'm going to show you how to make a really pretty, easy, cute bow to embellish maybe your Valentine's things that you make this year. You just want to cut like some little loops, and I'm going to do 3. And you can do, actually for this, I did 6. I have made these bows just doing 3, but you just want to do loop 3 or 6 or however many you want sections of that ribbon and stack them on top of each other, and then we're going to make some really cute little tails. And to make the tails, I'm just going to half the size of that width of that fabric. I just pulled them in strips, just ripped it, and then you just want to tie that around your loops, and it's that easy. And then you've got a really rustic pretty little bow that will embellish your Valentine's projects. And I love the little tails on this. The tails is what really makes it. So I just added it onto that little wreath, and that was how easy and fast that was. Now, like I told y'all, there's another video of a wreath that I made just like this one. It's a little bit bigger, and I used a different wreath form from Dollar Tree. But just to give you another idea of things that you may have on hand, that you can make this real easy and affordable wreath. Now, the next project we're going to work on is going to be this cute little pot. Now, I've had this since spring or summer, and I got it at Dollar General, and it was $2. I love the color of it because it kind of looks like that textured concrete look, so I don't have to do anything to it. This was just in my supply stash, and I thought, I think one of those little white transfers would be perfect on this, because sometimes you'll buy supplies and you'll just keep them in your stash for a while, and you haven't figured out what you can do with them, but there's going to be a project that's going to come along. Well, this was perfect for this little pot, because I thought, what, we can stick so many things in this, and I think this would be so pretty setting out for Valentine's or for winter, or you can just use this all year long. But I think it pairs really well with our little wooden hearts that we made. Okay, now the next project is going to be a wooden box. Now I already upcycled this in a previous video. It was wood color and I painted it, put a stencil on it. Well, now I'm going to flip it over because I've got a whole nother side I can do something with. And I've always told y'all, if you live in a small space or small home, you know, you got something you can do two sides on. You know, that just gives you more decoration, you know, for the money. Just decorate both sides. You can do them seasonal or, you know, and just flip them around and change them out. So I'm going to flip it around and I'm going to add another stencil that I have in my Amazon store. And I love this one, the gingerbread baking. And then I just made it into a little hot cocoa bar. You know, I just added some little jars and I put little things that you could go and make your hot chocolate. Now, the little galvanized lids to my mason jars, I also have those linked in my store because those fit perfect over these little mason jars I had. And it gives them more of that little rustic farmhouse look. The next project I'm going to show you is one that I did in a previous video last year, but it was so popular I wanted to put it in this video. So here you go. Now I'm going to show you one really quick little project we can make with the Dollar Tree Jingle blocks. And I don't know what you call these. I'm just going to call them little wood people. So for this project, you're going to need 12 Dollar Tree Jingle blocks. I'm repurposing some Jingle blocks that I had and I've used in previous projects because I'm getting low on the Dollar Tree ones. And you're going to want to use 2 wooden beads. I will link my beads down below that I ordered off of Amazon. It come in a package of assorted sizes. For the longer side, you're going to want to do 3 Jingle blocks and you're going to want to stack 2 together, and that's going to be 5.5 inches for the longer side. The shorter side, you're going to want to cut a 1/2 inch off and have 5 inches on the shorter side. And I used my miter box saw for that and it worked really well. They were very easy to cut. I just used some paints that I had on hand. The enamel red, it was shiny, so I just sanded it down to make it look more rustic looking. I just used wood glue to attach all my blocks together, and you just want it to look really rustic, and you can paint them whatever color you want. Here they are. I've got them all attached together, and then I just used some hot glue and attached the little round heads, and I used a little bit of the Dollar Tree spackle to fill in that hole so it wasn't is obvious. You really don't have to do that, if you don't want to. And you can also, if you use the little round doll head beads from the Walmart craft section, they probably don't have a hole in the top. And you could also even stuff some little yarn or twine down in that little hole and give them some hair. I think that would be really cute. Okay, y'all. This is a project that I thought was amazing. I bought this little form at a yard sale for 75 cents. So, the first thing I thought of in the summertime when I was out yard sale and I saw this, I was like, hey, this is great for Valentine's. We can probably paint it, glue some flowers or something on it and hang it up. Well, I had another idea. This is Pinterest inspired. You can make little peppermint trays. And I wanted to do this at Christmas and make a round one, but I never got around to it. So I thought, why not? Let's do it for Valentine's. You just want to take a package of Starlight or any kind of peppermints. You want to unwrap them and then you want to shape them in your form. Now I'm going to use a heart-shaped form, of course. This is what I got. This is what we're going to make out of them. But you want to lay parchment paper over your pan. You want to then put them in a very low oven. It's at 350. You want to keep them in for 5 minutes. Watch them carefully because they will melt fast, and you want to take them out as soon as they get melted. When they come out, you want to let them cool just a little bit, and then you want to take them off the pan and put them over on your countertop and let them dry. You want them to cool really good. And that part that kind of oozed out the side, that broke off really easy with just my fingers. You let it dry, and then you just pull your form away from it, and y'all, what a great little heart-shaped tray we have. Now, you can do so many things with this little tray, and I'm going to show you a little stand that I made out of some other candy canes that you can make a little stand for it. But I think this right here, you could, just embellish this with your cupcakes or any kind of like little treats that you make for Valentine's. This is the little stand. I just took 4 candy canes. I used a little bit of hot glue and glued them together, and I tied a ribbon on them just to cover up the writing. You could unwrap the paper off of them, and I could have done that on mine, but I didn't. I left the paper on them. But anyway, just set your little Valentine tray on top of it, and you've got a cute little stand. So y'all, also wanted to tell y'all the little print that you saw in my video today. It is sponsored by Country Lane Living. They have an Etsy store, and they have a ton of very affordable, between $3 and $4 range on a lot of them, of downloadable printables that you can get. It's fine art that they will send straight to your email, and then all you have to do is go out and frame it, and you got some really great artwork. So I'm going to leave a link to their website down below. I also want to show y'all this cute little pampas tree that I just ordered. It retailed for $59. It's right now on clearance for $15. I just ordered and received mine, and I'm going to show you my next video how we can style it. It's a great addition to any neutral style home. Okay, y'all, now the winners for the Dollar Tree calendars. Please get in touch with me via email, and I will get your calendar sent to you. And congratulations. I appreciate each and every one of y'all for coming over today and watching my video. I hope y'all all have a wonderful week, and I plan to see y'all in my next video. Love each and every one of y'all. I will see you soon. Bye, y'all.